Welcome into yet another installment of the Money Wisdom video series powered by Johnson Brunetti. My name is Jake Dozer. I'm a certified financial planner and a certified private wealth advisor on the team here in Connecticut. The question we have today is one that is polarizing, one that can have bias, and it's this. How can I tell if the financial advisor with whom I work is doing a good job? The reason I say that this question can be polarizing and biased is because it can be perceived as picking on an advisor. And the goal is not that. And so I'm going to set each and every one of my preconceived notions aside, and I'm just going to tell you, regardless of the type of advisor you work with, outside of my preferences, these are the three pillars that any advisor in any construct should be doing well with you. Number one, there should be clear and frequent enough communication. I say frequent enough because over communication is possible. Sometimes we have the idea that a financial advisor is akin to a stockbroker, where they need to be buying and selling the right stock at the right time to make your plan work. And I'm not saying that there is not a place for that, but very rarely should your advisor be trying to become a day trader or be making things happen in stocks and funds traded each and every day. That becomes a lot more close to a day trader, which really isn't right for most folks, and a lot more close to feeling like they have a crystal ball, and aligns more with trying to outpace the market as opposed to keeping up with the market or playing defense against market loss. And so the first one is there the right type of communication with changes in your portfolio? But is there the right frequency of changes? With our clients at Johnson Brunetti, most of the time we're getting together on average once a year. Sometimes, if there's tax planning involved, that might be twice a year. Now, outside of normal scheduled meetings that we enact, there's also the availability that we have. We're available by phone or email at any time. It doesn't mean that we're not available more than once or twice a year. It just means that we'll schedule things once or twice a year. A lot of times that's reviewing your account performance. That's updating you on things that are going on the market that might apply to you. And then it's also opening the channels of communication the other direction, asking for feedback. What's changed in your life? Have there been any income changes? Are there any adjustments we need to make to the plan in light of those life cycle changes? Because a lot of times you don't want to be making changes unless they're in light of your life, as opposed to making changes, which is my second point. The second way you can tell if your advisor is doing well is there change for a purpose or for the sake of change? Sometimes advisors get the sense that we need to be making changes just to keep the client entertained or engaged, or giving the act that we're doing something for them. That is simply not true, my friend. Making change should be aligned with a purpose, whether it be the stage of life in which you're in, the way you're using your money, what's going on in the market, as opposed to making change for the sake of change, changing from one fund to the next without a defined purpose, changing from one strategy to the next to give the client the sense that change is happening. That's not a good job. That isn't the type of game that you want to be playing. So we talked about, number one, making sure that the communication is appropriately frequent. We talked about, number two, making sure that change is not just for the sake of change. And then number three, you want to make sure that you have a clearly understandable and definable plan. And maybe this is most important. Anytime investments are being chosen, that shouldn't be based on the flavor of the month. It shouldn't be based on exclusively how you feel about risk, although that should be a consideration. It should be, how do we accomplish the goals that we've set forth for you? So first you start with the end in mind. What objective are we looking to accomplish? In our sake, it's retirement planning for our clients. How do we choose investments then, once the plan is defined, to accomplish your retirement plan? Not arbitrary investments because we're looking to chase return, or making investments exclusively based on your appetite for risk. That should be a part of it, but sometimes you need more risk than you're taking, even though you're not as comfortable with it. And sometimes you need less risk, even though you're very comfortable with risk. These are three of many things that are unbiased, objective reasons and ways to measure, is your advisor doing a good job? Hopefully this content and the content you've seen historically has been helpful. If so, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Turn on notifications to see when our next video is available, and share it with a friend if you find that somebody would be of help. Again, this is Jake with Johnson Brunetti and the Money Wisdom Question Series. We'll see you on the next episode.